So Polonius is a spell sword, which is the sage class I talked about with Kairos, right? And so he gets Opportunist, 4 extra damage against foes that can't counter. Unfortunately, he doesn't have very good magic. So bro has 4 magic. You can make some amount of magical damage work. You know, we saw with Alonso, right? 6 base magic. Just hitting on res is nice. But realistically, you're using strength. Polonius is a sword unit that also gets to use the Earthquake Tome. He's not very good. 11 speed, 11 defense. Like, this is good for our standards, but our standards are not the normal standards. He does actually have a decent strength growth. His growths are 75% HP, 60% strength, and then everything else sucks. 10% magic, 20% skill, 35% speed, 10% luck, 40 defense. Oh, that is actually really good. He's a tank. Yo, he's a tank. 40 defense, 0 res. But those growths don't really matter because he's a promoted level 4 unit. So, like, he's not gaining experience. You know, people complain about Fia. Polonius, like, at least Fia has good combat and gets kills. Polonius doesn't get kills, so Polonius gets cheap EXP as a promoted unit. 44 HP and 11 defense. Yeah, we are unfortunately going to get a lot of use out of him in this run, and not just on shop maps. Because, like, Polonius' selling point is he has bargain. That means during preps, you can buy stuff for half price with Polonius. And then more importantly, Polonius is basically an auto-deploy on every map with a shop. I think his stats are good enough that he still does, like, filler combat on the shop maps. But, like, not good enough to justify deploying him anywhere else. He has the same strength as Fia, but less skill and speed. Yeah, but Fia uses bows and has bow range plus. Whereas Polonius is using swords. And, like, I guess Opportunist means he'll do good against snipers, like enemy snipers. But, like, lol. He doesn't get any 2 range even. I guess Earthquake is 2 range. He's better Shanam because he's not an escort mission. Yeah, I mean, like, it feels like you're going a man down by deploying him, but he does chip stuff. Do you believe in the idea that speed thresholds for doubling are better than the raw attack stat? I think it depends. I think it's highly situational. I don't think you can make a broad sweeping statement about that. But Polonius doesn't hit those doubling thresholds. He isn't worse than an empty deployment slot. I mean, nothing is worse than an empty deployment slot. Big Shamshir crits. Yes, with his 7 skill. With his 7 skill and 20% growth rate. I mean, Polonius, the joke is, right? He's an actor. So he's pretending to be a mage, but he doesn't actually do magical damage. You just use him for shopping. Speed's a defensive stat. Yeah, I mean, it stops you from getting doubled. I think 11 is enough that most units won't double him, at least. Are these stats worse than his boss map? He has more HP, but I think his other stats, like, he had 15 strength as a boss, and he's got 14 now. So, you know, not very good at combat, but I would still say he's one of the best units in the game because of just how much bargain impacts your economy. It basically doubles your gold supply. You use him for shopping, that's why he has a battle combo with the final boss! I really like Polonius from a design perspective, though. Like, I think that he is good enough at that filler role that when you deploy him for shop maps, it feels bad, but it doesn't feel like an empty deployment slot, right? Enemies aren't reaching 15 aside from Merms, who will deal like 3 damage to him. Yeah, 11 defense, again, for our purposes, is good. Shoutouts to 5 resistance. Like, he'll get shredded by mages, I guess, but who doesn't in our army? Next up, we have Ofelia. I wish this unit was better than she is. Her stats don't matter. I'm tempted to not even read her growth rates. When I first recruited her in my blind run, chat popped the fuck off because she has a 70% speed growth and a 135 HP growth. But she's a Zane, right? So she only uses her growth rates if she does combat, but without transforming. Which, like, C rank lances, yay, 22 HP, 3 strength. I guess I for completeness' sake, I'll read out her growth rates. 135 HP, 20 strength, 25 magic, 40 skill, 70 speed, 80 luck, 30 defense, and 75 res. So she's a mage killer. No, Ophelia's here for method acting. She's a Zane type unit. She transforms into others. This is worse than being a dancer. But I believe it's, like, usually pretty okay. The problem with it, right, in addition to you're committing to a specific unit, whereas dancers have turn-by-turn flexibility, you have to take a turn off every 5 turns just to transform into someone. Unless things have changed in the 2.0 patch, Ofelia also doesn't copy skills, which means she can't, like, reposition as a general. I don't think she even gets Canto Plus as a general. She can't generate extra money as a copy of Lopez. She can't, she doesn't have extra range as a sniper. So, like, she's generally going to be a worse version of the person you copied. Better lance rank than Teresa. Yeah, but when she transforms into Teresa, she takes Teresa's lance rank, so it doesn't matter. Those are all inherent to being in the class. I remember in version 1 point something, I transformed into a promoted Raleigh and could not reposition as Ofelia. So I'm pretty sure it could be changed. It could be changed, but I'm pretty sure she does not have, at least at 1 point, she did not have access to the skills. And that was when I stopped fielding her, because I was like, well, this is garbage. In our playthrough, right? She's gonna be good just because we have such limited access to, like, useful units that even having a second worse copy of Alonso is still gonna be better than, like, you know, fielding fucking Nikolaus, right? But it's not great. It's not where you want to be at. She will never fall off this run. Also, in case anyone has any clever ideas about transforming into a Pate, that's a waste of Ophelia's turn, because that heal staff is not tradable. So, like, she can copy a Pate, but then she's just literally dead weight. The game explicitly tells you not to copy a Pate. Yeah, but people, it's the meme, the DW meme of, like, that can't stop me, I can't read. You also don't even get renewal because, again, doesn't copy skills. I think Ofelia is, like, a pretty bad unit. I don't think she's worth deploying outside of specific challenge runs. But, like, it's a fun idea. I wish she copied reposition and, like, other skills. I mean, only reposition is the one I care about because I love reposition. Should have gone a dancer route. I'm sure there's a valid reason she's not a dancer. I mean, you're looking at the valid reason right now. The hack is balanced around limited healing. And so having a dancer to give a Pate an extra turn would break the design. A Pate gets staff force later. But as of the early game maps are designed to test your ability to do things with only 1 heal per turn. And then later on, it tests your ability to do things with 2 or 3, depending on if you're fielding Tiresias. So a dancer, like, the existence of a dancer would mean on most turns you just dance a Pate. And there'd be sometimes you wouldn't, but I think that having a dancer would kind of undercut the design intentions of this hack, which is why she can't copy a Pate, right? You can't stop her from dancing a Pate, at least as far as I know from the... I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure you can't stop a specific unit from getting danced with the technology we have right now. But you can make it so the heal staff isn't tradable, so copying a Pate is worthless. I wish Freelancer Take was less rocky about skills and such, but my hands are tied there. No, it's fine. Like, I'm complaining about the unit, but that's not like a design issue. It's a limitation, right? Builder is a very impressive program, but you can't just like type in what you want and immediately get it. Pate and Barlow are the reason you get no dancer. Oh, true, extra rallies as well. Although I think dancing Barlow would be significantly less design warping than dancing a Pate. Like, it's not even necessarily that dancing a Pate is powerful that's the problem. It's dancing a Pate undercuts some of the design. Who should we give the normal rock to? If we gave the normal rock to Kyra, then we wouldn't have to worry about trading the Maelstrom off for enemy phase. I think that's probably where we want to be at. Developers build around limitations too. It's not the end of the world. Yeah. Remember that? Hey, Wolfric speed went up. 10. Is this the Brave Axe map? I forged a Brave Axe. Okay, yeah. And then next map is when we decide which Slayer we want, I believe. I think Zane is a nice change of pace, even if he's worse. Oh, definitely, yeah. I enjoy... I mean, here's the thing, right? Like, if you want to play a hack with a dancer, there's like 10 million of them out there. Just, like, pick a different one. I enjoy having different options in, like, what types of Fire Emblem games you can play, right? I think that's everyone. Yeah, okay, so the only reward that matters is Wolfric's speed and the Brave Axe, because, like, I'm not fielding Nicolaus, not at this point of the campaign. TBH, all those arguments, and I also just wanted to shake things up. I mean, that's fair too. That's fair too. All right, Polonius. Take a steel sword. Grab the poison sword. Why the fuck not? And then I'll give you a fire tome. I'm so sad. Thunder has more might than Hurricane now. This is a tragedy and a travesty. Now that Theme's dead, who should we have sell all of our coins? Actually, funnier idea. Sorry, Soder, you killed Theme. You have to take over her duties now. This is your own fault. All right, I've been thinking about it. I think y'all are right. I think Pluto gets the next Master Seal. Just the bow range plus is going to be a big deal. And then, like, +4 strength, like, ridiculous stuff like that. Cashing in all the Lopez coins. Aw, yeah. Soder, how did you know? I mean, how dare you accuse me of killing Theme? Any weapons you might use the repair hammer on? I think probably either the Maelstrom or, like, maybe Halberd? Do we have anyone we might want a lance for on Alonso? There's a few sword units, but not many. This will be a rather chill map because there's no anti-turtle except for like this bandit. So we can afford to take things quite slow. The Sword Slayer. We do have the only Sword Slayer. That's true. We haven't used it yet. 1, 2, 3, 4. So, like, the main reason I'm deploying Begonia is the leadership star, but her bases have been, like, surprisingly good enough, especially with both Hammer and Halberd being available early on. I'm impressed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One, two, three. Repair the heal staff, the infinite durability staff. Yes, yes. All right. I think we got this. I think we just fire it off from here. So we start with the hammer, open some cans. Roar! Hestia's silly. I feel bad because she makes Fango and Jane feel bad as bounty hunters because she doubles everything. I will give my opinion on Hestia's quality as a unit later. Oh, wait. But I do not think Hestia is particularly good. I think she's one of the weaker members of the cast. Okay, so we Begonia bonk. I love this song. What game is this song from? What is this song? Shoot. I gotta reposition people. Subterranean Hell from Castlevania. Gotcha, thank you. I have not played any of the Castlevania games. I gave her 5 levels with the Metis Tome, and she was good. I think one of the biggest issues Hestia, the Bestia, runs into is... we're one map away from the unit review. We're one map away from the unit review. I'll get to it there. I'll get to it there. Mid-women syndrome. Yeah, I mean, she's a skill specialist, right? So she never misses anything, which is good. Like, genuinely, that is her best quality, and it's not, like, a meme. But, like, Fango doubles almost everything that she's gonna double anyway. And, like, Jane doesn't care about doubling. Jade just 1 rounds. Fango also one-shots to BH. Yeah, Fango also one-shots, to be honest. Like, Fango's just Jane again. I also think Hestia probably wants to go warrior. More than bounty hunter. I don't remember how her con is, but she definitely doesn't need the hit increase from Thunderstorm. In which case, like, reckless and bow access, to me, feels like a more desirable set of traits. I'm not 100% on that, because I've only used Hestia once. But just from looking at her, like, what she has, it feels like Bounty Hunter runs counter to what she wants. What is her constitution? Because I don't think she has, like, great con. It's not terrible. Because she is, like, a blacksmith, right? Big muscle lady. Hestia has a support with Kyra. Yeah, that's the other nice part. Is, like, the Kyra support is good because it's always online. 13 or 14? Damn, okay, never mind. She's got good fucking con. Egg on my face. I still think, like, when you don't need the accuracy boost from Thunderstorm, I'd rather have bows and anima, right? Like, her magic's not bad either. She's not, like, what I would necessarily describe as a hybrid unit, but, like, anima access good? It's kind of a balanced choice, but I think Warrior's better. Danny, are you going to the rare take each fort one at a time strategy? Oh, you mean like send everyone north and then come loop back around and go down south? I mean, like, I'm thinking about it. At least during the opener, I don't see any reason to, like, lure these guys, right? I'm gonna buy 2 hurricanes. Honestly, pure water's probably a good pickup too. Like, just considering the lack of res tanks. Axe Reaver, Steel Lance. Okay, the Axe Reaver, 23. Because we go here, 1, 2, 3. We can snipe you down. Oh, no, we can't. Let's just move Teresa, like, here-ish. Oh, she does have reposition. Okay, so that's been changed for 2.0. Or, you know, at some point it was changed. Well, shit. That's a game changer. Okay, Ofelia actually climbing up on my tier list, like, unironically. Obviously, not getting Lopez coins and not getting a pate is, like, still a knock against her, but I had her at D tier, on the idea that, like, what is the point? You can't even, like, repo general or whatever. Nah. She's good. She's good. Fix Ofelia with one small change. I think at some point, I don't remember when, I switched around personal skills, so the most important one would still display in the unit preview box. Maybe that's what ended up doing it. And, like, obviously it's unfortunate that she doesn't copy Lopez. Like, you can't just double the amount of Lopez coins you get. But, like, sometimes that's just how it goes, right? I think just being able to copy the strong generals, okay, Ofelia at least up a full tier for that reason. I'm gonna have to relook at my tier list. I am planning on, like, revisiting the tier list, not just because, like, 2.0 changed some stuff, but also, like, I'm gonna be using units I didn't before, and so if I under or overestimated someone, they're gonna get moved around. Doll fans rejoice. We're doing doll route. Oh, I just realized, since Fiend gets Kyra's personal weapons now, Sniper Fiend gets 4 range Maelstrom. That's kind of baller. $20, $20, $16. Okay, so 16, that's 9. Knocks you down to 18. Yeah, no, you're fine. You're goody gumdrops. Since when did Kyra get Fiend's... Since when did Fiend get Kyra's PRFs? I believe that's a 2.0 change. Chat told me about it when I got Maelstrom. I'm glad you're here, Saint Rubino. I've been trying to schedule the streams at like a Spain time zone, but I don't know time zones super well. Because I know normally I stream at night, but I'm a filthy US American, so all of my European viewers can't watch things live. And I figured, you know, normally that's like unfortunate, but not the biggest deal in the world. But as like the Hacks creator, I wanted you to be able to view if you want. Which is why I've been aiming for early streams, but goddamn insomnia, it's 2013 in Spain. Okay, that's you know, reasonable post dinner time, getting near the end of the day, bedtime type deal. You destroy. Okay, so yo, Lopez Firebrand Gaming. British people can watch the VODs. I mean, anyone can watch the VODs, but I think VODs are, I don't know, personally, I don't really like watching VODs all that much. In fairness, I might not be the target audience, because I also just don't watch streams very much. So, like, maybe that's where the disconnect is like, just stream content in general not really appealing to me. But I feel like a VOD, like, the appeal of streaming is the community interaction, isn't it? So I feel like a VOD kind of completely negates that. Although I am uploading the, like, by chapter stuff to Ice Rider for anyone who, like, misses streams. Because that also, like, cuts down on dead air from, like, oh, I gotta go get... Oh, no Kanto Plus, okay. Maybe that's what I was thinking of. I thought she had neither. No Kanto Plus is actually super unfortunate, but at least she can reposition. I'm not a big stream watcher anyway, but I appreciate the gesture. I like swinging by when I have a moment. Oh, don't feel any pressure. Like I said, I also don't really care for watching streams all that much. But so I hope you don't feel like, I don't know, pressured or whatever. Rescue you out. Take drop. You have an Axe Reaver. I don't have any sword units at the moment. Okay, Alonzo, go here with Fire Tome. Visit, get us the Master Seal. Kanto downwards. Oh, no, that was your full move. Okay. I guess... There's gotta be a way we can... Yeah, okay. We can just catch you out. Steel Lance, 23 attack, 8 AS. So Orla, go here with the Steel Lance yourself. What's your con? 8? Oh, no one can rescue you. Oh, can... Yeah, okay. Take... Drop. Pretty sure you're gonna go for a pate, but we'll put Fia up here just in case. Okay. Fango was cut because of 6 speed. Fango died. Fango died in chapter 9. Someone had to die, unfortunately. Canto Plus is technically learned through reaching level 1, which is not something Ofelia gets to go through. Oh, gotcha. Presumably there's not a way to have multiple skills, multiple class skills as a learned through the class. Like, presumably that's like the technical limitation. The 1% crit. Alright, so the wyverns are going down this way. And are you Thunder? You're the Thunder guy, right? Yeah, Thunder and Lance Reaver. Okay. Oh my goodness gracious. Kyra fell off. It's 1 perpetual unit skill, 1 perpetual class skill, 4 learn through level up. Gotcha. The 63 hit. Alright, Lopez, you can kill something. Okay, we'll have Pluto kill this. And Lopez kill this. And Fia kill this. That's all the wyverns taken care of. I do need to send Alonzo back down. The Thunder guy is scary. You've got the X. So we want to stay out of Thunder guy's range. We halberd you. Oh, right, you're the bow, so you don't get triangle. Okay, Ofelia, Chunka Chunka. Ooh, Ophelia's palette as a general. I just assumed she would have like the generic blue palettes, but she gets the green. That's cool. Ba-da-ba-da. So we can attack you with the hand axe and then Kanto out of thunder range. Oh my goodness. Alonzo, please. No! Alonzo! Fell off! Alright, let's fireball you, and we can Kanto out of range. We rescue Kanto out of range. Oh, the dodge. Alonzo washed. We love to see it. I didn't notice Ophelia's eating. Her portrait is so good. I think we have Orla, Flux here. Using dark magic for the hit rate. The times they are a-changin'. There we go. Okay. I guess we are just doing the divide, or we're doing the don't divide, just conquer strategy, I guess. Enemy phase Lopez, if only he could get coins. Sad face. Ofelia does use generic class palettes. I just changed the generic palette of every class in the game to match Ofelia. Honestly goated. Honestly goated. Alright, Lopez, turn this wyvern into a coin, please. Let's get rid of the thunder person beforehand. Is this a save turn? Oh, it is! Thank you, Ofelia. Yo, Ofelia, help it out! Ofelia Utility telling us when the save turns are. I'm honestly surprised how long Skymerius has, like, held up. I think it's turn 6, actually. There's 5 entire enemy phases and then revert. Chat, is this true? Yo, washed. Never mind. Ophelia washed. Ophelia washed. I will never financially recover from this. I just won't use that save state. Yo, it's Saint Rubino. Ruben. Bum bum ba-dum ba-dum bum bum ba-ba-ba-da-ba-da-ba. And we get a second Teresa. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Skymerius is just the good stats person, aren't they? I've never used them. Skymerius is the I have all right stats for my join time person. But in a no growths world, just having all right stats looks like good stats to us. Matt Paradox 5494, thank you for the channel membership. Welcome to Emoji. Or Emojo. You can now use fun emojos such as these. Appreciate your supports. Bum, bum, ba-da, ba-da, ba. So we just drain the Eclipse Tome, right? Like, safely? You cross the mountains on the left side? That's a peak. So we can't. These are peaks. They're separated, unfortunately. Boo-doo-boo, ba-doo-boo-boo-boo. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Attack. You go down here and buy some stuff for us. We definitely want some cleave bows. God, saving 1100 per cleave bow is so goated. Cleave bow, very good. I'll grab a steel bow just because it's cheap. A hand axe. We have the sword slayer. Do we want a sword reaver? 15 durability. Probably not. Let me think. Who are our upcoming sort of carries? We're getting Doll. Generals use axes and lances. We're getting Doll, we're getting, fuck, the stupid peg. Oh, we're getting Jane. Let's grab a couple of blades for Jane and Lopez. Am I forgetting anyone? Hestia will be helpful. Oh, true. We're getting Hestia. Let's grab a couple of steel axes. Another hand axe. And I think we leave with 47 in the bank. I think that's probably good as it currently stands. Not really any Lance units I'm excited for coming up. Hestia will be not the best, but still fine. Yeah, and I think that's kind of where she is in a normal playthrough too, so... I mean, in a normal playthrough, she's a training project, right? But she's one of those training projects that is, like, competent enough at base. Especially if we just immediately slam a seal on her, which I actually don't think is doable. Doesn't she join at 9? Does she join at 9 or 11? You bought the steel axe, now we're homeless. The extra might is good, right? Like, the hit rate sucks. The losing hit rate is quite unfortunate. Level 12 in Chapter 12. Damn, why did I think it was less than that? Yeah, that's not all that low level at all. Maybe it's just that her stats make me think... Because her base stats are not exactly where you want to be at. She sure doesn't feel like she's only level 10. Oh, Jane, yeah. I can't think of a good Lance user outside of Lorenzo and Dahl. Remind me, who's Lorenzo again? I mean, the real answer is the hoplites, right? Anyone who goes hoplite uses all 3 and wants lances. Oh, Lorenzo's the Goto, right, yeah. I was like, why can't I remember? I don't know why I couldn't remember. Jesus Christ, Ophelia. I mean, it's Teresa I should be criticizing. Funny Resolve, man. I mean, Resolve is the flashiest part of Lorenzo, but, like, low-key, the best slash funniest part, or the best part of Lorenzo is, 15. Oh, right, you've got the normal rock. Yeah, so you just take 11. Like, low-key, the best part is just having a really fucking good defense stat, right? .21 defense is, like, fine. I mean, maybe for another game, but I think 21 defense, even for endgame, is really good in Hag. You'll probably have some units tankier than him, but, like, not most. Everything at that point hits like a truck. Yeah, I mean, like, my Lorenzo got shredded in a single enemy phase, so he's definitely not invincible. Okay, this is the actual save turn. Lunar Brace helps too. Like, don't get me wrong, I don't think Lorenzo is going to be your tankiest unit unless you, like, just didn't use any of the generals or, like, Fructusio or anything like that. But I do think it's accurate to describe him as tanky. We'll just do a tactical retreat. He has amazing ranks in the entire triangle access. That too. Although I wish he was the bow variant of Great Knight. I'm not gonna lie. Bows are just, very good. Lore-wise, he's a holy rider. True, I forgot. Like, the lore justifies it. I wonder why the Great Knight wasn't separated into Dark and Holy. I mean, there are two variants, they just both have the same name. Holy Great Knight gets the full triangle. Dark Great Knight gets lance, axe, and bow. Yeah. It's like general in Radiant Dawn. No, in Radiant Dawn, they have names. It's like Lance General, Axe General, Sword General. And then Marshals... So the thing about Radiant Dawn, right, is the third tier classes have this weird thing where they'll be like, they have the same weapon access, but you can only SS rank or S plus rank your starting weapon, right? So like Fiona is a Silver Knight, but she can S plus lances, whereas Astrid is a Silver Knight that can S plus bows. Oh, the fucking Sagel. I didn't know that. That's kind of cute design. But they all have the same weapon rank. So Marshals always get full triangle. But, for example, Tironio is a Marshal that... I believe Lances are his specialization. So he can get the highest rank Lance. And it sort of works like that. Just move on. Alundite Von Vacati Meg. Yeah. Meg is an Alundite user. I'm scared a lot of new devs are going to use Hag, using a lot of strange design choices that mesh together to take them out of context and make their hack use Hag, making it work as an excuse. Huh?
I'm scared new devs are going to use Hag using a lot of strange design choices that mesh together in context to take one out of context in their Hag and use Hag making it work as an excuse. I'm sorry, maybe I'm stupid. I don't understand what you're saying. I'm scared a lot of devs are going to use Hag using a lot of strange design choices that work together in context and use one out of context and use Hag making it work as an excuse. Sorry, I must be missing something. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be rude. I literally don't understand. Things like bow range +1. It works in this game because no magic. Do you mean like no magic bows? Or no healing? I'm afraid people are going to copy Hag's ideas without understanding the core game design. So, like, you think there'll be other... If I'm understanding correctly, you think, like, there'll be other games that do, like, the limited healing, but they'll do it poorly? I mean, like, there's... I don't know. I'm not really worried about that. I think, you know, like, games will always take inspiration from, like, what's successful. And sometimes it doesn't work. You know, sometimes, as you say, like, not understanding why something worked can lead to it, like, being implemented superficially similarly, but not, like, actually working properly. But I don't think that's really something to be worried about. You know, like, if a game, whether it's a, you know, a AAA game, an indie game, a ROM hack, whatever, isn't appealing to you, like, you don't have to play it. I don't think How to Lively any sort of fire starter for previously good mechanics in the wrong context. I don't know, I think, like, there's always gonna be people who make stuff that doesn't gel with you. And, like, even if we're just limiting ourselves to Fire Emblem ROM hacks, right? There's such an absurd number of Fire Emblem ROM hacks that, like, if one doesn't gel with you, just play a different one. I think I'm confused, too. To be clear, I might just be misunderstanding the point. So I don't want to come off as, like, straw-manning the argument or anything. But I wouldn't be concerned about that. People are gonna try to make low-pass experience, but with skill system despoil that's RNG based. I mean, doesn't that already exist? That was just Hugh from Code of the Burger King, right? Or like, Samto from Emblem, right? Like, and I don't even necessarily think that's bad design. I mean, obviously you can disagree. I don't think I'm... Despite what some people say in the comment section, I'm not the authority on what is or is not good hack design. But I don't think having a random, like, you get money for using this shitty unit is, like, bad design. I mean, even saying that, like, Samto and Hugh are shitty units, like, I wouldn't say they are. But, like, if we're, you know, under the premise, right? But, like, it can be fun. The thing about Fire Emblem, right? And video games in general, and I think this is something that sometimes people will miss, is, like, balance does not equal good in a single-player experience. It can. Like, if all of your options are equally strong, it can be a fun experience, choosing what option you want to go on. But it is not the only way to make a fun experience. You know, people will criticize, like, FE6 for having an unbalanced cast, right? Because, like, Milady just dominates everything or whatever. And I do think that it's... Oh, right, I forgot about y'all. I mean, we can handle this. Easy. I do think that, like, something like Sophia, like the Sophia core, goes too far. In that, like, Sophia is such a comically bad unit that I do think it is unfun. But, like, using Deke instead of Rutger, you know, some people like using silly, less powerful units. Girly Pop on the forest! So cringe. Okay, we can at least kill you. You say this, but FE12 is way too unbalanced. I mean, I don't think there's such thing as too unbalanced, though. I agree with you that FE12 has, you know, like, the Paula and Katria experience, right? Of just how ridiculous they are. Please, Lopez. There we go. But, like, people love training up, like, Ubello Gaming. Ubello Gaming is, like... It's a meme because he's bad, but it's also a meme because people have fun with it, right? Not everyone likes bad units. You know, there's the sort of efficiency brain of, like, why would I ever use them? And, like, that's also a valid way to play the game. You know, if you don't have fun using someone like Anna Make a Killing, that's okay as well. People like Donald, even though he's objectively bad. I mean, I think that gets to another issue within Fire Emblem. I think most Fire Emblem fans don't understand the meaning of the word objective. Donald's not objectively bad. I think he's bad. And I think most, like, high-level players think that he's bad. But, like, that is still, at the end of the day, an opinion. And it's an opinion, you know, that I'm forming based on... I would say, a good deal of game knowledge, both about the series in general and then also Awakening, you know? It's an informed opinion. It's not just like me saying, you know, my Donald got strength screwed, so he's bad. But at the end of the day, it is still an opinion. I think that you know the meme of like, oh, we're putting this on the shelf, you know, until you learn how to use it responsibly? I think the Fire Emblem community needs to have the word objective and the word misinformation put on the shelf until they learn how to use them responsibly. Because for most Fire Emblem players, objective just means I put thought into my evaluation, right? Therefore, I'm correct. Which, like, not only ignores that sort of the more casual people also put thought into their evaluation, but also it's very possible to, like, understand, you know, sort of fundamentals of Fire Emblem and still miss stuff, right? I mean, for how long did the Fire Emblem community have, like, the Ike versus Kieran stuff? I mean, I still get comments from people who are like, you said Ike is a bad unit, but my Ike popped off, plus Ragnell, so objectively, he's good. And, like, you can disagree with my assessment of Ike Path of Radiance. You know, just because I put thought into Ike popped off, no way, now he can bait 8 2-range enemies and do jack shit. Who is the hammer? Where did it get traded around to this time? Is it in the convoy? I know I didn't break that shit. Ike versus Kieran is total Ponich incarnate. FE12 Daros is super funny. It's the only game where he's good, and a lot of other people turned into dog shit. I do not know enough about FE12, so I'm just gonna take your word for that. Ike is fine, but not good on average. I think Ike is pretty bad. I think Ike will almost always just be the worst unit you fielded. Because he's forced. Like, I think in almost every playthrough of Path of Radiance, you're going to bench someone who's better than Ike. Mostly because a lot of people bench Makalov. Which, like, Makalov isn't even all that good, but, like, horse will travel. The Kestros guy. Okay, Kestros guy, 18 attack. Normal rock. What's your crit? Like, does Kestros have crit? 0 crit. Okay. It is very funny to see, like, the Makalov ranking. Because he is the worst of the Cavaliers. Like, I've seen some people try to argue that Astrid is worse, and in a game without bonus experience, that might be true. But with bonus experience, you know, let's be honest, if you're using Makalov, you need to give him bonus experience, and Astrid requires less bonus experience to promote. So, like, Makalov is the worst of the Cavaliers, but He is still a cavalier. And so I believe I have Makalov like one tier lower than the other Cavs, but it's very funny to see like the tier list moment of like every Cav in S tier, Makalov in C tier, and it's like, oh, you certainly have a take. Astrid will snowball faster even if you invest in both the same. I mean, Astrid becomes a paladin with less experience than Makalov. Or less bonus experience than Makalov, specifically. Because of the way bonus experience thresholds work, I've done the math. Astrid requires less than Makalov to promote. There's a big chart on Serenez that shows like how much BXP you need. And like, let's be real, if you're using either of them, you kind of just like instantly BXP them out of their bad weapon type. Cause like, sure, swords are slightly better than bows, but at the point you recruit Makalov, you're not using a sword unit. Is the 7th best EXP target worth it? Are you talking Makalov, Astrid, or both that you don't think should be BXP'd? You get a ton of bonus experience in Path of Radiance. Fenrir Tome. Like, who are you spending that BXP on, Rolf? Most units 1 round with a sword. Not on enemy phase. Path of Radiance loves throwing 1-2 range fuckers at you. Points into Makalov are not points into Titania, Marcia, and Jill. Oh, are we still arguing bonus experience Titania in the year of our Lord 2026? The other thing, right, is like you get a reduced value on bonus experience the higher level a unit is. I think once a unit is competent, like on their own, I don't think you BXP someone who's like already competent. Or rather, at the very least, once someone's promoted, right? I think that there is an argument for like sending Jill and Marcia into their promoted classes as soon as you can. But like once you've got Wyvern Lord Jill, you don't really gain anything from making her like a level 3 Wyvern Lord instead of a level 1 Wyvern Lord. She 1 rounds with a Forge anyway. Honestly, she 1 rounds without a Forge anyway. And the same is true for Marcia. Making your super units kill with even more overkill is less valuable than getting an additional super unit. Is BXP one of the Juggernaut methods? Yeah, I would say it's probably accurate to say BXP is like a Juggernaut method. It's better to have 5 good units than 3 overkill ones. I mean, I think, again, just because you get given so much BXP,
It sort of feels like, why limit yourself to 5? I think you can have like 3 juggernauts easily followed by like the rest of your squad being good. If we're including like staffers like Mist and Riss in good, right? And they don't even really need BXP. Like, just throw a Master Seal on those fuckers. Riss, I guess, late game wants BXP. But, like, in the very, very late game... your BXP is so plentiful... that it's, like... It's hilariously trivial to just, like, instantly zoom someone up 20 levels. Juggernauting is one of those cases where I don't know if it's the dev's fault or player's fault for invalidating the game by playing that way. I mean, in the case of Path of Radiance, I think it's the dev's fault. Because having done multiple no BXP runs, I can tell you, you Juggernaut even without doing some amount of, like, even without BXPing, you just Juggernaut. Here's infinite EXP to spread however you want. Yeah, I mean, definitely, like, getting a second promoted unit in Chapter 20, or in Chapter whatever, right? Like, that's definitely something that, like, is not the dev's fault. That was clearly, like, unintended or oversight or whatever. I think I screwed this up. Because we do this, but then unfortunately, I guess what we can do is maybe this will work. I think I screwed this up though. I might have to reload the save state. I got a little bit overconfident and distracted. Like, that's my bad.
Lopez might dodge, and if Lopez dodges, that's good. Yeah, if Lopez dodges one of these 69s, you know. There we go. Okay, we're good. We're good. Lopez will just dodge trust. I should have trusted. I should have trusted. See, I should have trusted you. He's dodging sex. What did Rubino mean by this? Earthquake. Society when the remake rewrites Makalov as a guy who's broke from giving money to charity. The sad thing is, like, you might be onto something. I don't know. I mean, the comment gets made, like, over and over, but, you know, Fire Emblem fans be like, we want a scumbag in our army. Makalov exists. We hate him. We kill him off, right? Oh no! She can't mimic! She can't mimic because she's on the peak. Peak problems. Heavy fans could never handle playing Thracia. What about Shannon? I mean, I think Shannon is characterized poorly. Or rather, I think Shannon's existence undercuts both his and Ike's characterization and character arcs and whatnot. Neither Shannon nor Makalov are the worst people in Tellius, considering Naesala and Oliver exist. Oh god, Oliver. But people meme on Oliver, right? They love the funny, fat slave master. He's so funny. Oh, we can mimic. I think it was because of the rescue, maybe. Naesala is simply Travant. You know, I didn't make that connection until now, but I do think you're onto something. Naesala is interesting. Like, the morality of Naesala, I think, is pretty interesting. I ultimately come down on the side that, like, he is a bad person. Or I guess not a person, whatever. Bad crow. But at the very least, he, like, tries to... Like, internally, he justifies his actions. Even if... many people, myself included, would argue that, like, they are not truly justified. He believes that what he's doing is necessary for his country to survive. Look at the fucking crit Polonius moment. I blocked out the Blood Pact part. Blood Pact is easily the worst bit of writing in Radiant Dawn. I actually think the first Blood Pact works from a writing perspective. The one that Peleus has to sign, you know, he's naive. Him getting naively tricked into signing the Blood Pact, especially after, like, his advisor just left, makes sense. And I think, like, it's as good a justification as any for why Dane is fighting up against the Grail Mercs and whatnot. But I think Nasalas makes absolutely no sense. I think it's stupid. Like, let's just pull another blood contract out of our ass. Even then, I would argue it's still not the worst piece of writing in Radiant Dawn. I think the worst piece of Radiant Dawn writing is the Deus Ex Machina at the end of part 3. Where it's a literal Deus Ex Machina, where, like, you've got these two sides that are ideologically opposed, and it's like, we care about people on both sides. How is this conflict gonna be resolved? God shows up and turns everyone into statues? What? What?